evening, good evening, good evening. I haven't done a video in a while, so I'm just getting back at it. Not really a while. I do videos every day, but just haven't posted anything. So what this video right here is talking about is, as you all know, I'm gonna grab my book right quick. I wrote Attack, How to Aggressively Pursue Your Purpose. And basically in that book, I'm talking about how, you're supposed to attack your purpose. You're supposed to go after it. The reason that man or men and women were created, especially men, what you were created to do. And what I want you to know is that everything that you speak about affects you. Everything that you put out, say out of your lips, and you put into the universe, it affects you. Now, I don't even think I may have touched on this in this book. I know in my previous book, Inspired, How to Motivate Yourself into Creating Something Great, I touched on this topic, but you have to be very, 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 very careful about anything negative that you speak out of your mouth. And the reason I'm saying this is because when you speak positive, you have to speak positive like thousands of times for that thing to manifest. However, when you speak negative, it seems like instantly when you speak something negative, that situation happens. So before you say anything negative, before you say that, hey, I'm going to fly tonight or whatever it may be, that may not be positive. Everybody knows what they say. They have little issues and things that they say. But what you should do is think careful about what you say and what you put out into this atmosphere and use it to your benefit. For instance, I've always said I love selling cars. I'm a salesman to the heart. I sell everything. I can sell ice to an Eskimo and snowshoes to a polar bear. But you know what I'm saying? So I'm a hustler. I'm a grinder, and this is what I do. So, for instance, I always said I'm going to own a car lot. I'm going to have a car lot. I was selling cars on the side of my house. Think about this now. I even have videos on YouTube 2-3 years ago where I was selling cars on the side of my house. I was pushing cars. I had like 10 cars in the yard selling cars hard. So I said I want to own a car lot. I want to own a car lot. I looked and looked and looked. For years, I looked for a building. I tried to find something that was in my budget, or at least I thought. And then finally, I found a building. Matter of fact, when I was still at my house, I opened up my first dealership. It was a wholesale dealership, meaning I could only sell to other dealers, but it was my first dealership. Then I went, and then after another year and a half, maybe 2 years, I was able to find a building, and I leased the building. I put the money up front, and I was able to lease the building. And so now I have a car lot, and everybody knows Ride for Less. You can buy a car from anywhere, but can you ride for less? And that's in Charleston, South Carolina. So if anybody needs a car, holler at me. Come check me out. 1114 Mazik Road, Charleston, South Carolina, 29407. But for instance, I spoke that I wanted to own a car lot. I would always say, man, I'm going to own a car lot. I'm going to own a car lot. I'm going to own a car lot. And guess what? I owned a car lot. I always spoke, I'm going to own a multi-million-dollar business. I'm going to own a multi-million-dollar business. I spoke that every day. Anytime somebody would ask me a question, my answer would be, I'm going to own a multi-million-dollar business. I even said my tow truck company. I said, I'm going to own a tow truck company. I have 2 records. You see what I'm saying? When you speak stuff, that's what comes to you. So if you speak in negative, guess what? Negative is going to come to you. If you're speaking positive, then guess what? Positive is going to come to you. I always said that I was going to write a book. My first book, Inspired, I'm looking at it because I got them. I keep stacks of them over in the corner. Inspired, How to Motivate Yourself into Creating Something Great. I always said I wanted to write a book. So I wrote a book. Then I said I wanted to write another book. I wrote another book. Then I wrote a third book. And I have probably another 4 or 5 more books in me. I even have a poetry book because I used to write poetry when I was like 17, 18-ish, 19, maybe 20. And I have all of that poetry that I'm going to put into a book. You see what I'm saying? So you just got to speak positive. If you want to be a millionaire, speak. I'm going to be a millionaire. If you want to be a billionaire, speak. I'm going to be a billionaire. And put your plan into action. Be working towards that. If you want to own, I always say I'm going to own 200,000 apartment units. Now think about this now. In the United States of America, there is probably about 2.5 million apartment units. and my statistics could be off, but I think I looked at it a couple years ago, it was like 2 million. So I'm saying if they made another 500,000, it would be 2.5. And my goal was to always own 200,000 apartment units. And I speak that I'm going to own 200,000 apartment units. And I said to myself, I said, well, Greystone, the largest property owner and manager, I believe it's either Greystone, I think it's Greystone, and it's ran by a guy named Bob Faith. I said, if he can manage, and I think he was a hedge fund guy, came over and, started doing REITs, or not necessarily REITs, but, apartments. I said, if Greystone can have 2 million, or excuse me, like 150,000 units under management, Wolf Capital can have the same thing. And actually, I didn't even think of it in that way, that Wolf Capital could have the same thing. I just knew that I wanted to own 200,000 units. I said, if I shot for 200,000 and I got 50, I'd be happy. If I shot for 200,000 units and I got 20,000, you see what I'm saying? You can be a billionaire for 20,000 decent apartment units. You see what I'm saying? But my goal was to be 200,000. And I speak it, I'm on 200,000 apartment units. And so people looking at me saying, what do you mean you're going to own 200,000 apartment units? Look, that's my goal. Why I have this car lot, why I have the tow truck company, why I have the real estate business. I do everything so that I can achieve my ultimate goal of owning 200,000 units. If you want to own the Taj Mahal, start speaking it. Start putting your plan together. Start working it. Because if you work it, then guess what? Things are going to start. You might not own the big Taj Mahal, but you might own the one in Atlantic City. The one that closed down, I think it's closed down. The one that Trump owned and it closed down. You see what I'm saying? You might own that Taj Mahal, but your mind is set on the big Taj Mahal over in India. You see what I believe it's in India. If I'm not, then, y'all take that way you want to take it. But you see what I'm saying? So think about what you say and focus on how you're going to achieve that. Focus on what's going to get you there. Because guess what? Ain't nobody going to give it to you. The world isn't fair. Excuse me. There's no reward for people that work hard. You see what I'm saying? There's no big basket of money for people that say, oh, well, I'm fair and I'm nice and I should get this reward because I'm nice. Guess what? Nice people don't get rewards. Not in America. Not in this life. For instance, I made a joke last night. My wife was like, oh, well, I should get this because you love me or I'm a nice person. I said, sorry, sweetheart. Nice people don't get rewards. And then I said, you got to work. She said, well, neither does hard workers. Don't you see how hard you work? And guess what? I'm still working. And I said, I never stop working. I'm going to never stop pursuing this passion, this goal, this motivation. Boy, I get pumped up when I think about it. You see what I'm saying? I get pumped up because I'm out here grinding. So this week, all right, I'm going to end this video. But check out my next video because I'm going to tell you what I was doing as far as owning. I purchased 7 or 8 cars this week. I think I purchased 8 cars this week, right? See, something keep getting in my eye. Sorry. And my hands might be a little dirty because I was working on cars all day. But I purchased 8 cars this week. And I'm just getting ready, getting stocked up. It's December the 20th. So y'all know tax time is right around the corner. So I'm trying to sell 100 cars the first month. So you check me out and check out my next video, but like it, subscribe, and share.